Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Genovese, and this is Irish, and this is Sky, and we're going to show you how to place a lower limb bandage on a horse. The indications for needing to place a lower limb bandage would be a wound that has been sutured, an open wound possibly, or it could be if the horse has got a soft tissue injury or swelling. And again, a lot of the wounds in the lower leg should be evaluated by your veterinarian first, so you know that it's not anything serious. But you may get sent home instructions to bandage the horse's leg. So if you fall in this category, I'll show you how to do it. So for video purposes, let's assume that Irish had a wound that was located in the front of the cannon bone, which is a common location for wounds. And let's assume that your veterinarian sutured the wound up and the wound is in the mid-cannon bone region. So we want the bandage to basically cover this part of the leg. So you're going to need the following, depending on your veterinarian's preference. First, you could use saline, which is sodium chloride, which works really great on wounds. The other is Silvadene ointment, which works really well on open wounds. Or they may just want you to leave it dry with a dry bandage, and that's where your Telfa comes into hand. So the first thing you may put on your bandage would be your what goes against the skin, which would be a topical treatment, or your first layer may just be either a Telfa pad or an antimicrobial sponge pad, which is what we typically use here at LaSalle. Your second layer will be specialist cast padding, which just allows you to stabilize the primary dressing, and it's easy to use. Your third layer would be sheet cotton, then brown gauze to secure it, then vet wrap, and we use a little bit of elasticon to cover the top and the bottom of the bandage so nothing can get in there. So let's assume we've sutured up the wound on the front of Irish's cannon bone, and we're just going to use a dry Telfa, which is commonly used in a sutured wound. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to place the Telfa pad over the wound. Then you're going to take your cast padding and just go right in the middle, and this will help you secure the Telfa pad as such. And you're going to roll right to the bottom of the knee, and then you're going to start to roll down. And I like to go about a half width of the cast padding all the way down to the pastern, but leave a little bit of skin showing at the bottom because the wound is in the middle of the cannon bone. And then work your way back up. And the key thing I want to stress here with bandaging a lower leg is, number one, usually more padding the better. A common mistake that I see commonly here is not enough padding. I don't think you can ever have enough padding on a horse's leg. And the second thing is when you pull your material across the leg, it's always good to pull across the front of the cannon bone as opposed to around from the back and pulling against the tendon. So your next layer is going to be the sheet cotton. And the sheet cotton should be cut in length to fit the region here. So you've got double layer between your cast padding and your sheet cotton. So you're going to roll this around as such. Then you're going to use brown gauze. And the brown gauze could be applied snug, but you don't want to pull it too tight. You just want to kind of get the wrinkles out, but you don't need to Nice even pressure, not pulling too tight. Going all the way to the bottom. And I always like to, when I'm using anything that's going to secure the padding, I always like to leave padding below and above it. And I work my way back up. Nice even pressure, and I'm not tugging on the brown gauze. The next layer is going to be the vet wrap. And again, you want to pull it so you get the wrinkles out, but you don't want to stretch the wrinkles. So again, it's kind of moderate pressure or pulling, but the key is nice and even. And I go down about a half of a width of the vet wrap. Nice and even pressure. And I leave a little bit of white showing at the bottom. Then I work my way back up. And I leave a little white at the top. And the vet wrap sticks nicely to itself. Then lastly, we use Elasticon. And the purpose of Elasticon is to prevent anything from getting into the bandage from the top and the bottom. This can get pulled very tightly, so you just loosely place it above the bandage. Just a little bit is all that's needed. Then a little bit below the bandage. And again, only a little bit is needed, and you don't pull, you just kind of lay it down. And that's an adequate bandage for that type of wound.